Have you ever wondered what real strength looks like? I'm not talking about how much weight you can lift or how tough you act when the pressure's on. No, I'm talking about the kind of strength that doesn't make noise, the kind that carries you through life's storms without breaking. The kind of strength that others might not even see, but you know it's there because it's what gets you up in the morning, keeps you moving forward, and helps you stand tall when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. See, real strength isn't loud. It doesn't need to shout or prove itself. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's powerful. And the truth is, a lot of people walking around today don't even realize they've got that kind of strength. They think they're just getting by, but let me tell you, they're doing something extraordinary. Today, we're going to talk about 7 signs that you're one of those people, a truly strong person. These aren't the obvious things you see in the movies or read in books. These are the deeper truths, the subtle signs, the quiet victories that show you've got what it takes to not just survive, but thrive. So, are you ready to find out if you've got that unshakable strength? Let's dive in. 1, you face your fears head on. A strong person doesn't let fear dictate their choices, they confront it head on. Now, let's get one thing straight. Being strong doesn't mean you're fearless. Fear is natural, it's human, and it shows up for everyone. But strength lies in how you respond to that fear. It's not about pretending it's not there, it's about standing tall despite it. When fear knocks on the door, a strong person doesn't run. They acknowledge it. They say, all right, I see you, but you're not going to stop me. That's the difference. Fear might whisper all kinds of doubts. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? But a strong person hears those whispers and keeps moving forward anyway, because they know that on the other side of fear lies growth, opportunity, and transformation. Life will always throw challenges your way, hard moments that test your resolve. But strength is choosing to lean into those moments instead of retreating. It's saying, this mountain is steep, this road is rough, but I'm going to climb it because I believe in what's waiting at the top. And even when the climb feels impossible, they take it one step at a time, knowing every small victory builds resilience. Facing fear isn't easy. It takes guts, determination, and a willingness to be uncomfortable. But let me tell you, folks, the reward is worth it. Every time you face your fears, you grow a little stronger, a little braver. You learn that fear isn't a barrier, it's a stepping stone. And that's what sets the strong apart. They don't let fear hold them back, they use it to propel them forward. 2, you take responsibility for your actions. Accountability is one of the truest measures of strength. A strong person doesn't shy away from responsibility or shift blame onto others. Instead, they face their missteps head on. They have the courage to admit when they're wrong and the determination to make it right. It's easy to fall into the trap of excuses. Blaming circumstances, other people, or even bad luck might feel like a way to protect yourself, but in reality, it only holds you back. Strong person knows this. They understand that growth comes from owning up to their choices and actions. They look themselves in the mirror and say, this one's on me. Now, how do I fix it? When you take responsibility, you reclaim control over your life. You're no longer a victim of external forces, you're the author of your own story. Every mistake becomes an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to strengthen your character. And let's not forget, folks, accountability earns respect. When people see that you're willing to admit your faults and do the work to correct them, it inspires trust and admiration. Strong people don't fear failure because they see it for what it really is, a stepping stone to success. Each mistake is a lesson, a chance to refine their approach, to grow wiser and more capable. And that's the beauty of accountability. It doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you better. So the next time life throws you a curveball, remember this strength isn't about being flawless. It's about owning your flaws and using them to build something greater. A strong person doesn't avoid responsibility, they embrace it. And in doing so, they carve a path to resilience, wisdom, and true success. 3, you set boundaries and stick to them. Boundaries are the unsung heroes of a strong, balanced life. If you're a strong person, you've mastered the art of saying no when it's necessary, not because you're shutting people out, but because you're letting yourself in. You understand that your time, your energy, and your piece of finite resources, and you're intentional about how you spend them. Some folks might call it selfish, but here's the truth: setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's about creating the space to be your best self. You see, if you give and give without limits, eventually you'll run dry. A strong person knows they can't pour from an empty cup. They make sure their cup is full first so they can truly give to others from a place of abundance. And let's not overlook this: boundaries are also about respect. When you set limits, you're saying, I value my time, my energy, and my well-being enough to protect them, but it doesn't stop there. You're also showing others how to respect you. People can't take what you don't give, and a strong person ensures they're giving on their own terms. Now, setting boundaries isn't always easy. Sometimes people will push back. They'll call you difficult, accuse you of changing, or try to guilt you into doing what they want. But a strong person doesn't crumble under pressure. They hold firm because they know that saying yes to everything is a fast track to burnout. And here's where the magic happens when you start setting boundaries. You'll notice something remarkable. The wrong people will fall away. Those who don't respect your limits will drift, but the right people, they'll step up. They'll honor your boundaries and respect your strength because they value the version of you that's healthy, focused, and at peace. Boundaries also create clarity in your life. They help you prioritize what truly matters. When you're not stretched too thin, you have the mental and emotional capacity to focus on your goals, nurture your relationships, and take care of yourself. That's not just surviving, it's thriving. So, if you're out here saying no to things that drain you, creating space for the things that fill you, and standing firm in your worth, know this: you are strong. Boundaries don't make you selfish, they make you wise. They show the world that you know who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. And that, my friends, is true strength. 4, you're not afraid to be vulnerable. Let's talk about vulnerability, folks. This is one of those topics that tends to make people uncomfortable because we've been conditioned to see vulnerability as a weakness. But let me tell you something, it takes a whole lot more courage to show your true self than to hide behind a facade. That's real strength. A strong person isn't afraid to say, I'm not okay, or I need help. That's not weakness, that's authenticity. It's easy to put up walls, to pretend you got it all together, but the truth is, nobody does. And the moment you admit that, the moment you let your guard down and say, this is where I'm struggling, you're showing the kind of bravery most people only dream of. Here's the thing, vulnerability isn't about exposing yourself to just anyone. It's not about handing over your trust to people who haven't earned it. It's about being honest with yourself and with those who truly matter in your life. It's about saying, I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to ask the questions, or I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it. That's the kind of honesty that builds real, lasting connections. You see, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to growth. You can't fix what you won't face. A strong person understands this. They know that admitting their flaws, their fears, and their failures doesn't make them weak, it makes them human. And in that humanity lies the power to change, to grow, and to become better. Let me tell you something else. Vulnerability builds trust. People can sense when you're being genuine, and they're drawn to it. Nobody wants to connect with someone who's all surface and no depth. When you're vulnerable, you're saying, this is me, no masks, no pretense. And that authenticity inspires others to do the same. It creates deeper, more meaningful relationships where both parties feel seen, heard, and valued. Now, let's not get it twisted. Vulnerability isn't about oversharing or laying yourself bare in every situation. It's about discernment. A strong person knows when and with whom to be vulnerable. They understand that not everyone deserves access to their innermost thoughts and feelings. They're selective, not because they're closed off, but because they respect their own emotional well-being. And let me tell you, folks, there's no strength in wearing a mask. The strongest people I've ever met are the ones who can say, this is me, flaws and all. They're not afraid to show their scars. Because they know those scars tell a story of resilience, of overcoming, of becoming. And that's what strength is all about: being real, being honest, and standing tall, not in spite of your vulnerabilities, but because of them. So if you're out here thinking you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, let this be a reminder: it's okay to let it down. It's okay to say, I can't do this alone. In fact, that might be the strongest thing you'll ever do. Because in vulnerability, there's freedom, there's power, and there's the kind of strength that can move mountains. 5, we keep going when life gets tough. Let's talk about perseverance, folks, because it's one of the clearest signs of strength. Perseverance isn't flashy. It doesn't always grab attention or get applause, but it's the backbone of every success story you've ever heard. It's what separates the people who dream from the people who achieve. And let me tell you, it's not about talent, luck, or even timing. It's about refusing to quit, no matter how tough life gets. Now, perseverance doesn't mean you don't stumble. It doesn't mean you don't get tired or feel like giving up. Everybody gets knocked down. It's part of the human experience. The question is, what do you do when you're on the ground? Do you stay there and let the world pass you by? Or do you muster the strength to rise again? A strong person makes the choice to get back up, dust themselves off, and keep pushing forward. Life has a way of throwing curveballs. You lose a job, a relationship doesn't work out, or a dream feels like it's slipping through your fingers. It's easy to feel defeated in those moments. But perseverance is about looking at those challenges and saying, this isn't the end of my story. It's about understanding that every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every failure is just another step on the path to success. Here's the thing: perseverance isn't about speed. It's not about crossing the finish line before everyone else. It's about staying in the race no matter how long it takes. Some days progress might feel slow, like you're moving through quicksand. But the key is to keep moving, even if it's just an inch at a time. Because every small step forward is a victory. And those steps add up over time. Strong people know that perseverance is a daily decision. It's waking up every morning and deciding to try again. It's putting one foot in front of the other, even when you'd rather stay in bed. It's believing in yourself even when the odds are stacked against you. And let me tell you, folks, that kind of grit is rare. It's the kind of strength that turns dreams into reality. But let's be real, perseverance isn't easy. It takes discipline. It takes resilience. It takes the ability to tune out the negativity and keep your eyes on the prize. There will be days when you feel like you're not making any progress, like all your hard work is for nothing. But those are the days when perseverance matters most. Because if you can push through the tough times, you'll come out stronger on the other side. And let's not forget the role of faith in perseverance. Whether it's faith in a higher power, faith in the process, or simply faith in yourselves, strong people hold on to that belief. They trust that their efforts will pay off, even if they don't see the results right away. That faith becomes their anchor, keeping them steady when the storms of life try to knock them off course. Perseverance isn't just about reaching a goal, it's about who you become along the way. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you overcome shapes you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. It's not just about what you achieve, it's about the growth, the lessons, and the character you build in the process. So if you're out here facing challenges, if life feels like an uphill battle, know this: every step you take matters. Every time you choose to keep going, you're proving your strength. You're showing the world and yourself that you've got what it takes to persevere. Remember, it's not about how fast you get there. It's about not giving up. It's about showing up, giving your best, and trusting that your perseverance will pay off. And let me tell you, folks, it always does. Keep going. Keep believing. And never ever stop. 6, you lift others up. Here's something you might not expect. Strong people lift others up. They don't tear people down to feel better about themselves. They encourage, they support, and they inspire. In a world that often celebrates competition over collaboration, ego over empathy, and self-interest over shared success, lifting others up can feel counterintuitive. But let me tell you, folks, true strength is found in the capacity to uplift those around you, not by outshining them, but by helping them shine. If you've ever taken the time to celebrate someone else's victory, offer a helping hand, or simply lend a listening ear without expecting anything in return, you've shown a level of strength that is rare in today's fast-paced, self-centered society. It's easy to compete, to compare, to withhold your support for fear that someone else's success will take something away from your own. But that mindset only limits your potential. A strong person understands that collaboration and generosity create a ripple effect of positive change. Strong people understand that we rise by lifting others. They grasp the profound truth that kindness, compassion, and generosity are not signs of weakness, they are signs of true strength. Strength that stems from a place of humility and the understanding that we are all interconnected in this journey called life. When you lift others, you create a community of shared support where everyone thrives because of each other's successes. Let's break this down further. When someone shares their dreams or goals with you, and you respond with genuine encouragement, you are offering more than just words, you are offering belief. Belief in their ability to achieve greatness. You are reinforcing their confidence and helping them push through obstacles that might seem insurmountable. This isn't just a simple gesture, it's an act of strength that builds trust and respect. Moreover, lifting others doesn't mean erasing your own ambitions. In fact, it enhances them. When you celebrate someone else's success, you cultivate an environment of abundance where possibilities expand and opportunities multiply. There's no finite pie that shrinks as others take a piece. Instead, there's an infinite field of opportunities waiting to be harvested together. Strong people also understand that lifting others up requires vulnerability. It takes courage to open yourself up, to believe in someone else's potential, to offer help even when you might feel uncertain about the outcome. But in doing so, you allow room for growth, not just for them, but for yourself. You expose yourself to new perspectives, challenges, and ideas that you may never have encountered if you only walked your own path. Let's face it, life is tough. We all face struggles, setbacks, and times when we feel like giving up. In those moments, having someone who believes in us, who lifts us higher when we're down, can be the difference between quitting and persevering. That's the kind of strength that shapes character, that builds bonds, and that leaves a lasting impact on the world. And let's not forget the impact that lifting others has on the world at large. Imagine a society where everyone uplifted each other. A world where success wasn't a zero-sum game, but a collective triumph. That's the kind of world that strong individuals strive to, community of mutual support, where the achievements of one enhance the potential of all. Now, this doesn't mean you should take on the burdens of others at the expense of your own well-being. Boundaries are essential. You cannot lift others up if you're constantly drained and depleted. But when you find that balance, when you support while maintaining your own strength, you become a beacon of inspiration for those around you. Strength is about selflessness, yes, but it's also about balance. The true measure of a strong person is not just what they achieve, but how they help others achieve greatness. It's in the little things, the encouragement in the quiet moments, the genuine support in times of doubt, and the belief that together we are unstoppable. So if you find yourself lifting others, celebrating their victories, and supporting them through their challenges, know that you are embodying a rare and beautiful form of strength. You are contributing to a legacy of kindness and resilience that will inspire generations to come. Keep lifting, keep encouraging, and keep believing, because the world needs more people like you. 7, you stay true to yourself. Staying true to yourself is one of the greatest acts of strength you can demonstrate. In a world that bombards you with expectations, comparisons, and judgments, remaining authentic is a defiant act of courage. It's not always easy to hold on to your identity when everyone and everything around you seems to be pulling you in different directions, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. A strong person knows who they are. They've taken the time to understand themselves, their values, beliefs, and goals. They're not afraid to stand alone if it means staying true to what they believe in. This kind of self-awareness is like a compass. It keeps you grounded and helps you navigate life's complexities with clarity and purpose. When you know who you are, you're not easily swayed by the opinions of others. The world is full of voices telling you how to think, how to act, and who to be. But a strong person doesn't let external noise dictate their internal world. They listen, they consider, but at the end of the day, they make decisions that align with their truth. They're not chasing trends or seeking validation. They're living authentically. And that's what makes them unshakable. Standing firm in your values and beliefs doesn't mean you're inflexible or closed-minded. On the contrary, it means you built a strong foundation that allows you to adapt without losing yourself. It's about knowing what you'll compromise on and what you won't. It's about having the strength to say no when something doesn't feel right, and the courage to say yes when it does, even if it goes against the grain. This kind of strength is rare because it requires both self-awareness and self-respect. It's not about arrogance or defiance. It's about integrity. It's about being the same person in private as you are in public. It's about walking through life with your head held high, not because you think you're better than anyone else, but because you refuse to be anything less than yourself. And let me tell you something, when you live this way, you become a source of inspiration. Your authenticity gives others permission to be authentic too. Your strength shows them that it's possible to be true to themselves in a world that constantly pressures them to conform. You become a beacon of hope, a reminder that there's power in staying genuine. So hold on to your truth, protect it fiercely. Because when you stay true to yourself, you're not just strong, you're unstoppable. And the world needs more of that. So there you have it, 7 signs you're a very strong person. That strength isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being unshakable when life throws its hardest punches. It's not about never falling, it's about rising every single time you do. And let me tell you something right now. If you've ever been knocked down, doubted yourself, or questioned your path, but you're still here, still fighting, still standing, that's strength. You see, life has a way of testing us. It throws curveballs, builds mountains in our paths, and sometimes it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders. But the beauty of strength is that it's forged in those very moments of struggle. It's not something handed to you. It's something you earn through resilience, grit, and determination. If you see yourself in these signs of strength, let me tell you, you've got something extraordinary. The ability to persevere, to face the storms, and to keep going no matter what. And if you don't see yourself in them just yet, don't be discouraged. Strength isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's built one decision, one challenge, and one victory at a time. True strength starts with facing your fears. Life is full of uncertainties, and fear will try to hold you back. But a strong person understands that fear is a part of growth. They confront it head on, knowing that what lies on the other side is worth the risk. Whether it's stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something new, or standing up for yourself, facing your fears is where strength is born. Then there's the willingness to take responsibility. Strong people don't make excuses. They own their actions, their mistakes, and their decisions. They don't play the blame game because they know that true growth comes from acknowledging where they've fallen short and taking steps to improve. This kind of accountability isn't easy, but it's what sets the strong apart from the rest. Another sign of strength is the ability to set boundaries. Strong people understand the importance of protecting their energy, their time, and their well-being. They're not afraid to say no when something doesn't align with their values or goals. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's necessary for maintaining balance and self-respect. Now let's talk about vulnerability. Society often teaches us that being strong means hiding your emotions. But the truth is, showing vulnerability is one of the strongest things you can do. It takes courage to admit when you're hurting, to ask for help, or to open your heart to someone. Vulnerability doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. And in that authenticity, you find strength. Perseverance is another hallmark of strength. Life isn't always fair, and the road isn't always smooth. But strong people keep going, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against them. They understand that setbacks are just stepping stones, and failures are opportunities to learn and grow. Perseverance isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Lifting others up is another sign of true strength. It takes a strong person to put aside their own struggles and extend a helping hand to someone else. Whether it's offering a kind word, providing support, or simply being there for someone in need, lifting others up not only strengthens them, it strengthens you too. Finally, staying true to yourself is the cornerstone of strength. In a world that often tries to mold you into something you're not, it takes courage and conviction to stay authentic. Strong people don't compromise their values or betray their identity to fit in. They know who they are, and they stand firmly in their truth. If you see yourself in these signs, know that you're stronger than you realize. Your strength is your superpower, your anchor, and your light in the darkest moments. And if you don't see yourself in these signs just yet, Don't worry, strength is a muscle. And every challenge you face is a chance to make it stronger. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep believing in yourself, because the world needs your strength. It needs people who can stand tall in the face of adversity, who can lift others up, and who can inspire by simply being themselves. You have the power to move mountains, weather any storm, and leave a mark on this world that no one can erase. So don't ever doubt it. Thank you, and God bless.